Mercedes is refreshing its compact car family, and this time the spotlight moves to the new generation GLB with EQ technology. It still has that upright and boxy character that many people loved in the old GLK, but almost everything else has moved into a new era. The body is longer and wider than the outgoing electric model, and sits a little lower, so in person it looks more planted and more confident on the road. It stretches to 4,732 millimeters in length, is 1,861 millimeters wide, and stands 1,687 millimeters tall, with a wheelbase of 2,889 millimeters that helps unlock more cabin space for every row of seats. Inside that extra length and wheelbase translate into a roomier feel. Headroom and legroom have grown across all three rows, so even the third row is not just for kids anymore. Mercedes says that people up to 1.71 meters tall can sit in the very back, which makes this one of the few compact electric crossovers that can genuinely carry 7 people. In this segment, neither BMW nor Audi currently offers a 7-seat electric alternative. So this GLB gives Mercedes a very useful advantage for families who need occasional third-row space but do not want to jump up to a bigger and more expensive vehicle. From the outside, Mercedes has decided to bring its electric and gasoline design languages closer together. The GLB with EQ technology does not shout electric vehicle at first glance. You can tell the difference mainly from the grille design and a few subtle details, but overall it looks like a modern Mercedes sport utility vehicle rather than a separate electric sub-brand. Buyers can even specify up to 20-inch wheels which fill the arches nicely. Choose those larger wheels, and Mercedes includes adaptive dampers as standard equipment, which should help balance style with comfort. Open the door and the technology story continues. Flush door handles slide out to greet you when you approach, helping both aerodynamics and the premium feel. The dashboard layout is very digital, but still recognizable as a Mercedes environment. In front of the driver sits a 10.25-inch digital instrument display, while the center of the dash houses a large 14-inch infotainment screen. On the passenger side, another 14-inch display can be added so that the front passenger can interact with media or navigation without distracting the driver. Beneath the central air vents, a row of physical shortcut buttons survives, which will be appreciated by those who still like quick access to key functions without digging through menus. Look up and one of the most charming details reveals itself. The panoramic glass roof is dotted with 158 illuminated stars that glow at night and can transition from opaque to transparent at the touch of a button. It is the kind of little moment that reminds you why people gravitate toward premium brands. It adds a sense of occasion every time you drive after dark or on a rainy evening. Practicality has also been carefully thought out. Under the front hood, the GLB offers a 127-liter front trunk, which is slightly more generous than what you get in the related CLA electric models, thanks to the taller front section. At the back, the 5-seat configuration provides 540 liters of luggage space, which is plenty for family road trips or airport runs. If you choose the 7-seat layout and keep the third row raised, cargo volume drops to 480 liters, but that is still very usable. Fold the rear seats down and the GLB turns into a small cargo van with as much as 1,715 liters in the 5-seat version or 1,605 liters in the 7-seat version. Under the skin, both current versions of the GLB with EQ technology share the same 85 kilowatt-hour battery pack. The lineup starts with the GLB 250 Plus, which uses a single electric motor to send 268 horsepower and 247 pound-feet of torque to the wheels. That is enough for an acceleration run from 0 to 62 miles per hour in 7.4 seconds, which feels brisk in daily driving rather than outright aggressive. If you want more punch and all-wheel drive traction, there is the GLB 354matic with EQ technology. It adds a second motor for a combined 349 horsepower and 380 pound-feet of torque, dropping the 0 to 62 miles per hour sprint to 5.5 seconds. Both models are electronically limited to 130 miles per hour, which is more than sufficient for any legal highway. Efficiency and range are just as important as performance in an electric vehicle, and here the GLB puts up solid numbers. In the official WLTP cycle, the single-motor GLB 250 Plus can travel up to 631 kilometers on a full charge, while the slightly heavier dual-motor GLB 354 Matic is rated at up to 614 kilometers. Fast charging capability is another highlight. At a compatible 320 kilowatt charger, a 10-minute top-up can add enough energy for about 260 kilometers of driving, which makes long trips far less stressful. In its home market of Germany, the electric GLB is already available to order, with first customer deliveries scheduled for the spring. Pricing starts at €59,048 for the GLB 250 Plus with rear-wheel drive. Those who want the extra performance and traction of the GLB 354 Matic with the additional front motor will pay from €62,178. For a 7-seat premium electric sport utility vehicle packed with technology, those figures position it as a step above mainstream rivals while still below some larger luxury models. Mercedes is not stopping here. The company has already confirmed that a more affordable electric GLB variant is on the way, as well as a mild hybrid version using a 1.5-liter turbocharged gasoline engine. These additions are expected to arrive soon, likely around the year 2026, and they should broaden the appeal of the GLB family to buyers who want the look and practicality of this new generation, but do not necessarily need the full electric drivetrain. For viewers who are curious about where Mercedes is taking its compact sport utility vehicles, and who want to see how this new GLB with EQ technology looks and moves in the real world, this video will walk you through all the details from design and technology to range and performance.